Man, Twitter is crazy. Or X. I've always had an account there, or several different ones, usually to promote whatever music thing I'm doing. But for the last couple of years, I've just been posting whenever there's a new video done. So I basically post like every day. But anyway, since Musk bought it, you can get away with a lot of stuff there. I did a video recently about talking about how it's like a battleground for the old boring black and white battle that our farmers love so much. They love to have the blacks and whites fighting. There's nothing that makes them happier. And it's like, it's so easy to fall into because you see something that's like just triggering, and happens to me. So now I respond to it, and then it starts. Idiot ping pong begins. It's back and forth, just, you know. But I noticed you can get away with a lot more than you used to be able to, depending on what it is. Like, I mean, you could put memes on there now that usually you'd used to be able only to get on like 4chan or something. I mean, no one's dropping N-bombs or anything like that. That's not happening. But it's way more lax than it used to be. One area I've noticed where it's not as lax though is with the JQ. I got a warning recently responding to it was some awful tweet too. Like it was one of them ellipsis who was saying some just awful shit about Palestinians or something, like, you know, how they're animals or whatever. They say this shit all the time, and like, you know, with impunity. So it just fucking set me up, and I wrote in response to it, the Goyim no, and that got me a warning for writing the Goyim no. Basically, what I was just saying is, you know, you're not getting away with anything. We know what's up with you, you know. It was a hashtag a couple of years ago that someone started that I used to use in those kind of conversations until they cracked down on it. But I don't think that's that bad. The Goyim, no. The Goyim is their name for us. If anyone doesn't know, the Goyim is a non-Jew. And it's like kind of an insult. It's not like as bad as like the N-word or something, but it's their version of, I guess their version of that. Anyone who isn't Jewish is a Goyim. And so the Goyim no, basically just say, you know, we know what's up, says. And I got hit for that. Now, meanwhile, on the other hand, with the black versus white battle, which they love, you can say anything. I've even seen people, you know, saying no one's dropping the N-bomb, but I've seen them drop it spelled differently. You know, so you kind of can, and the memes there, oh my god, like it's like 4chan poll tier memes. And just a couple years ago, you'd get your account banned for like way less than some of the stuff that's going on there. If you haven't been over there lately, it's crazy to check out. And every time I go there and I'm arguing with people, I'm just like, why? You know what this is. Why are you taking part in this? You know? I just have to close it down. Same thing with like Instagram. I post on there when I got a new video done. And that thing sucks me in too. And then I just spend wasting my time, you know, on there. And all of it is bad, you know. All of it is, none of it's good. None of it. Anything on your device isn't good. But what I try to do is put my time towards something kind of productive. I mean, I play games and waste time too, but I try to at least get something productive done, like research, or I'll do these videos if you consider that productive. I don't know, but yeah, fucking, it's madness. I gotta go pick up something here. I'll be right back. Holy shit, lads. I got a very small teacup. They're in my pockets now, but I got like a teacup and a little dish, like kind of like this gothic kind of looking thing. A mug and this big giant ass, pretty heavy candle. Alright, so I get up to the, and I don't mean to bag on these people, but I always do anyway. I get up to the counter. Excuse me. I get up to the counter and the girl takes the teacup first with the very slight teacup plate it goes on. Like this is like glassware. Puts it in the bag, just as is. That's the first thing she puts in. And I'm like, could you wrap that up, please? And she's like, oh, okay. So to wrap it up, she didn't wrap them up separately. She's put paper around the two things together, right? And I'm just going, oh, man. And then she takes a mug, one of the mugs I had, and starts wrapping that up with like one piece of paper. And I'm like, can you just give me some paper and I'll just do this? Because what she was going to do next is put that giant skull, the heavy candle, on top of the teacup and the little plate with a couple pieces of paper wrapped on. What do you do? I mean, when someone is that gone, I don't even know what to say about that. I got some more paper from her, and I wrapped it up so that everything wouldn't smash together in the bag. But she knew kind of that she should have wrapped them up, because when I asked her, she was like, oh yeah, well, okay. Like she's trying to get away with not doing it. But just imagine this, the bag, right? Teacup and a plate thrown in, nothing on them. Then the mug with nothing on it. Then this giant skull candle. What do you think would have happened? What do you think would have happened in that bag? Just right there on the counter. Like, never mind walking away with it. That's not even stupidity. That's just like, I don't even know what you would call that. Like, she wasn't trying to be, and God love these people. I don't, it's a little tough, you know what I mean? When you're, and plus she's younger. I don't know what these she's trying to make up for this fucking person is, but I noticed there's a lot of shit like that, like stuff that you should just kind of know and understand, like about the world. There's a lot of lack of awareness about that stuff. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've said, what did they think was going to happen? Like, I talk about the construction sites, when the fucking time is up to go home, they just fucking leave it like it is. There was one night where I drove on the Aloha, my buddy Craig, and I noticed there was a manhole uncovered. Like they're not regular sized manholes, but they're still like deep. The manholes that go down to the, the sewer. But they're the smaller ones, and the cap was off it. Someone left the cover off, and I'm like, oh shit, they left the manhole cover off there. Now they're not as big as like that one right there. It was a little bit smaller than that. Like, they're not the small ones. This one you could easily fall into with one of your legs and just go in there and fuck yourself up really bad. So I see that it has no cover, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I gotta, back at the building we have some cones. We have some road cones. I'm gonna go steal them from the garage place it around this because it's dark out. There's no light on it. Someone could come walking a dog here and really hurt themselves, maybe kill themselves, you know. So as I run home to get the cone, I notice that all of the manholes have no caps on them. All of them. It's like a weekend too, so I don't know how long they were like that. I didn't go back over there, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff like that happens. You know, so I don't know what you call that. Now, that's very dangerous. However, if someone were to hurt themselves there, you ain't suing anybody here. There's no such thing as like suing suing anyone here. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it's great for these guys get out here. They kind of they end up vanishing, you know. I'm not getting into that whole thing and how I know all this and everything, but yeah, if you hurt yourself somewhere here, you're not suing the fucking city. So those things don't really happen, and maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't think the people who left the fucking manholes open were trying to hurt people or thinking they're being negligent. They were just like, oh, time to go home. Let's go home. We'll finish this whenever. And they didn't think of it. That, I don't know what that is. I'm guessing probably it's another brain thing. Like, I don't know. Like I've studied the brain when it comes to some people, but I've never done a deep dive on like a Pacific Islander brain. I don't even know if you could see Pacific Islander, because Pacific Islander, there's all kinds of different people here. Like you got, it's many different kinds of people. Or they used to be before they kicked them all off the island, unfortunately. As the final humiliation to do to these people, they've been doing a slow motion humiliation to them for hundreds of years. And that as which accumulated in just kicking them all off the island when COVID came. Basically squeezed out. And yeah, I don't know what that is, what you would call that. It's like lack of cause and effect. They don't understand, like, it also could be like a thing, like, how I talk about the Amish with their situation. They have that prefrontal cortex problem where they don't have one, and all your abstract thinking happens there. So if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to do a lot of stuff. Oh, I really want to make this light. Oh, there we go. Jesus. It's not easy. It's not easy navigating around here. I make it look way easier than it is. Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, the girl was waiting on me. She's a nice girl. I mean, I see her all the time in there. I'm pretty certain she was Micronesian. Now, the Micronesians didn't get booted off the island because they are also, like the Amish, they get a lot of government assistance. When you're on government assistance, depending on what it is, like if it's SSDI, which is what the majority of the new residents are on, the Micronesians, I think, are on just regular welfare. What happened was, in their island was supposedly used for the U.S. military to radiate it because they were doing some weapons testing there. Now, if you know who Galen Windsor is, and you have over a 100 IQ, you probably know that there is no such thing as fucking nuclear weapons. So they wanted that island for some reason. So they made it so that all the people had to leave, and what they did is they just put them here in Hawaii, which caused a lot of resentment, obviously, with people that already live here. Now they hate the white man, the government anyway. So now, because the government blew up the Micronesians island, they bring them all here. So there's always seems to be a lot of friction between the islanders and the Micronesians. Always, you know, this was explained to me when I first moved here, because I couldn't really tell, you know, who was who. There's a lot of different kinds of islanders, you know, but the Micronesians are a lot darker. So that's usually how I can tell. But, yeah, so, I don't know what that means, but I just didn't want to throw a regular Pacific Islander under the bus. Well, I'm not even throwing under the bus. I'm just repeating what happened. I'm explaining the events as they rolled out. It's just fucking mind-blowing. Let me get out of here. Do I have enough stuff? Is it today? What do I want to talk about? I don't know. Sometimes. There's so much stuff happening that it's like I was saying earlier, like by the time I get to editing a lot of these things, it's like there's already 5 different things happen. You know? I don't, but whatever, it's all spiritual warfare related, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be like a news person. I am a spiritual war correspondent, but, you know, there's no one comes here to get fucking news. But yeah, the thing with how YouTube has been really bad lately with hitting people for hate speech things, even though that it's not hate speech. This is happening to a lot of people, not just me. And just other kind of stuff. It's taking real long to upload things. Just all these little things, problems people have with YouTube lately. I think it has to do with the election. They're really being careful about what gets put out there. I get that, man, more censorship stuff, you know, between Twitter and YouTube. YouTube's also very, the JQ, you kind of have to disguise what you're talking about. Like, I discuss it here, but it's usually, you know, I don't really advertise it in the thumbnails or the titles. You really have to kind of watch it to find it. I'm smart not to speak so that it could be called hate speech, even though now these days it doesn't matter what you could be talking about fucking roller skating, right? It's going to be hate speech. Just because I think the algorithm is just really, it's turned up really high. It's very sensitive right now, so it's being triggered. But once the election's over, it's probably going to go back to normal. So that's one good thing. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel that isn't an oncoming train. And either way, we're all going to be fine. The thing is, like, this thing with censorship, it's like the stuff that a lot of people get in trouble for saying is stuff kind of everybody knows anyway. You know, it's the cake is on the table situation. Like, we all know. We can see the cake. It's on the table. We don't have to get in trouble discussing it. You know, and if you want, you can always go to Twitter and fucking say whatever the fuck you want over there. Jesus. But I'm gonna head in. Thanks for popping in and checking in on me. I'm still dodging the ice cream van. And until next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.